आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
The question here is, if the range of a set of integers is 2 and the mean is 50, which of the following statements must be true? Statement 1 is the mode is 50. Statement 2 is the median is 50. Statement 3 is there are exactly 3 data values. The options are only 1, only 2, only 3 or 1 and 2. Right. Now first of all, we'll need to somehow find out what the values in the dataset must be. Right. So we're given that the range is 2, which means the smallest value in the dataset, suppose it is x, right, let x equals the smallest value in the dataset, then the largest value in the dataset must be x plus 2, since the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest values in the dataset. The range here is 2, which means the smallest value, if it is x, then the largest value must be x plus 2, right? We are also given that it is a set of integers. Now the only integer between these two values is x plus 1. Therefore the only values which could have been used in this dataset are x, x plus 1, x plus 1 and x plus 2, right? We are also given that the mean is 50. Now the mean, first of all, the dataset must include x and x plus 2 in it at least once, because without these the range would never be defined as 2. Suppose the dataset just contains x and x plus 1, then the range would have been x plus 1 minus x, which is 1. Similarly, x plus 1 and x plus 2 can't be the only ones in the dataset. Again, for the same reason, the range would be then 1. So to keep the range 2, the outermost values x and x plus 2 must be present in the dataset, right? Now the mean value is always between the outermost values, right? It always lies somewhere between the smallest and the largest value. Now the mean here is an integer 50. So the only integer value between the outermost values is x plus 1, right? So from that we can deduce that x plus 1 must be 50. X plus 1 equals 50, which means x equals 49 and x plus 2 equals 51, which means the dataset must comprise of 49, 50 and 51 only, right? It can't have any other integer in it. Now let us check the statements which are given to us, right? The first statement is the mode is 50. The mode is the most frequently occurring value in a dataset, right? Now in order to comply with the given conditions being the range is 2 and the mean is 50, right? These are the two given conditions which must be satisfied for this question, right? Now in order to comply with these, I can also have a data set simply as 49, 51, right? That's it. Only these two values. Now this satisfies the range, right? The range is here 2, and this satisfies that the mean is 50, right? The mean would be the average of these two values, which is 50. But here there are zero occurrences of the number 50. So 50 can't possibly be the mean of this data set, right? Therefore this statement 1, the mode is 50, is not always true. Therefore option A and option D are straight away eliminated from our considerations, because statement 1 is false, right? So now we only have to find out whether option B is correct or option C is correct. Next, so this was for statement 1. Next, statement 2. Statement 2 says that the median is 50. The median is the centermost value of a dataset when arranged in ascending or descending order. Right? Now, that holds true when there are odd number of values in a dataset. Right? If there are even number of values, then there are two centermost values in the dataset. Right? So what we do then is take their average, take their mean. Right? Now let us consider both cases. Case number 1 would be odd number of values in the dataset. Now for there to be odd number of values, first of all the mean must be 50, right? These two conditions must be satisfied regardless, right? So range must be 2, which means 49, 50 and 51 are the only numbers we can use, and the mean must be 50. For the mean to be 50, exactly 50, there must be equal number of occurrences of 49 and 51, because these two balance each other out, right? So number of 49s in the dataset must be equal to number of 51s in the dataset, and there can be any number of 50s in the dataset, right? 50 does not change the mean in any way, right? So if for there to be odd number of values, suppose there are n number of 49s, right? N occurrences of 49 in the dataset, which means there must also be n number of 51s, right? So the total number of values must be greater than 2n, at least equal to 2n, right? Now for there to be odd number of values, there must be at least 2n plus 1, right? There must be one more value for it to be odd. That one extra value would be 50. So the sequence would be something like this: n number of 49s, then a 50, then 51, again n number of 51s, right? So the median here would be this 50, since there are equal number of values on both sides of it. So this is the centermost value, right? Again, there can be any number of 50s, but as long as that number is odd, right? It can also be 49, 50, 50, 50, 51. Again, n number of 49, 49s and 51s, odd number of 50s, again the centermost value is this, right? Now, so this satisfies, in this case, statement 2 is true always, right? The second case would be even number of values. Right? For there to be even number of values, either there are even numbers of 50, which means we would then take an average, right? N numbers of 49, then 50, 50, just two 50s, just for example, then n number of 51, right? So now we'll take an average of these two centermost values, which will again come out to be 50, right? No problem there. So again this statement is true. But suppose there are zero numbers of 50s. Now what we have here is n numbers of 49 followed by n numbers of 51. So the centermost values would be 49, 51. Now in even number of values, what we do is we get two centermost values, so we take their average. Now again their average here would be 50. So in all these cases the median is always 50. Therefore we conclude that statement 1 is true, right? Now the only option in which statement 2 is true. So the only option in which statement 2 is true and statement 1 is false is option B. So the correct answer here is option B. Now I will explain why option 3 is incorrect. There are exactly 3 data values. Now we have already taken so many examples in which we have n numbers of 49s and 51s. So there is no limit in the given conditions there is no limit in place to which restricts our number of values to a certain number. So there are exactly three data values is false.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT जेईई मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।